I'm Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Friends at Gameology, hosted by MoonlightCrew.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less. Krosmaster Arena, a tactical miniatures skirmish game, in which you have your miniatures, your characters here, who try to defeat by knocking out these other characters of your opponent, or you can win by getting the Gallons of Glory. There's lots of dice rolling and seeing if your attacks hit or were they defended, and you assign damage, and you can break these trees, and there's just stuff going on. Lots of stuff going on in this game. I would say probably most miniatures games.
Yeah, move around, attack.
Yep. Simplicity versus complexity.
This game is pretty complex. We had to learn it in rounds. The rulebook has different scenarios. And it starts
tutorials.
So it starts off with like this small. You actually play on this. You move around, and you can only do certain things. And then they add in trees, and then they add in doing this next thing. So it's pretty complex to get the entirety of the game. That being said, play it a couple times, and you can get how many points you have to allocate where, and what all these die symbols mean. So it is complex, but you can get it. It's doable after a couple plays.
I think this game is ridiculously complex. And I feel like that's just to be said about most miniatures games. That's just how I feel. Maybe you've played miniatures for a long time and they come very naturally to you.
Right.
But I tell you what, like having to play 7 or 8 tutorials, and then now I know how to play the game, and I invite my friend over and I have to reteach, play all the tutorials, get them up to speed. Granted, you can just skip them, but what are they there for?
Right.
There is so much going on in here. These different special powers and 3 different tiers. You got these a whole bunch of different little bombs or traps or minions. So many pieces, and they all mean different things. You got these golds. You got a bunch of different modifiers. All of your different types of attacks have just 1,000 different. I mean, obviously exaggeration. People that like this game are gonna be like 1,000, but there's a bunch of different icons on here.
And words.
Right? They're all unique, but is it a ranged attack? Is it close attack? Can it only hit up to 3? Can it only hit after 3 spaces? So, I mean, I've gone on long enough. This game is really complex.
Yeah.
Luck versus strategy.
I think this game is a good amount of both, I think, because you have die rolling, but you also are able to move around, and you have a certain amount of hit points, or not hit points, yes, but you have action points that you can allocate wherever you desire, so that's completely up to you how close you get. Do you leave yourself vulnerable? Do you not? And so I think this game is a pretty good amount of strategy, especially as you get more characters, because the base set just comes with 8.
Yeah.
And so as you get more, you can make your own. It's like collectible?
It's not random, but you do collect
it's not
them.
random, right? It's not collectible, but you do get small packs that have a couple of new 4 characters, I think, come in a pack and things like that. So you can definitely mitigate your luck based on what characters you choose. But I think this is I think it's a good amount of both strategy and luck. I don't think I know the strategy, but I think it's there.
There's definitely strategy here, but I think it is very lucky. You got all these dice rolling. Some of them will let you choose like a different side. Some will cancel out a damage. And I mean, sometimes a person has been knocked out or has lived just based on a freak die roll, and no one saw that coming. You're like, wow, I rolled this many and none of them hit you? Or like, you only rolled 1 and it hit you? I can't believe it. So, I mean, I think there's a large helping of luck in this game, although there is admittedly some strategy. Fun versus boring.
As I look at this game, I think, oh, how cool. The miniatures look cool. I mean, they come painted, they look, and they're good quality and all this stuff, but it just doesn't do it for me. I think it's because of the heaviness of the game. It's just so involved for a game that I feel I want to be not as involved. I want to be able to just whip it out and play it and not have to play the tutorials with every new player that I play with. But I think, like Tom said, that maybe that's a miniatures thing, and I'm just not a miniatures gamer. Because this is probably a simple miniatures. There's no measuring, and we've played our fair share of measuring miniatures. So I think this is not as fun as I would like it to be, or to me, as cool as it looks. It looks really cool to me.
Same here. I was really excited to get this game, and it is too deep and heavy for what I wanted it to be. Maybe that's a mismatched expectations, but I mean, this is a 32-page rulebook in which you have all these different and you only find them here. There's no like cheat sheet for these, all these different explanations for what these little tokens do, and that's one type of token. Like it's not even coming into like what the cards do, what they mean, and all these.
What the powers in the bottom mean, critical hit, armor.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
So that being said, I never want to play it because it's not enough fun for the chore of what I have to put into playing it. Which, I mean, I really do wish it were otherwise. You've got these awesome little miniatures, these little figures here. They have these cartoon style clothing and faces and whatnot, and just they're king of the gobbles, anatomy, like anatomy, like just fun little things. Like the theme is there, everything's there. It just it's not working. There's too much rules investment for me to ever even want to pull this out.
Yeah, Bgg rating.
I'd go 4. I think it's a well-designed game for if you're a miniatures player, but I guess I'm not because I am just not feeling this game.
Yeah, I would give 3.5 or 4. Same thing. I do think it's well-designed. I think it's cool, but it's just too much for me. I'm not a miniatures gamer, I don't think.
We like lighter games. I think it's between us. Even Euro, Ameritrash, dividing that line, I still think we like the lighter versions of each.
Yeah, I would have 10.
It's too heavy for us.
Yeah. Every time we hit multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting to a lucky subscriber. So subscribe now.
Because it could be you that wins.
Krosmaster Arena. Reef presented the evidence.
You be the judge.